All right, here we go. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. We will be going live very soon. Uh, Today we have Shraddha Jain with us. Who's our yoga expert. I'll be giving her a quick invite real soon. But again, I'm quite excited to have her. To interact with her and to know her personal journey. Uh, Feel free to just drop in whatever questions you have or whatever you want to know from an expert with regards to the product you want to choose, or just in general regarding anything regarding yoga, right? Let me just send her a quick invite.
Hi,
All right. Hey, hi, Shraddha. How are you? So
I'm good.
excited.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you again. I think I am personally very excited because I think we've spoken earlier as well. I love having casual conversation with all our experts, just for the fact that I think it's a personal. I used to envy a lot of you guys because you guys are following your passion. I wish I could do that, but I think it's just I sort of take this opportunity to pick your brains on few stuff. Just wanted
Absolutely.
to understand your personal journey. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I think without further ado, let's get started. The format, I think, for all the viewers who have tuned in, I think the way we are structuring this is, probably I will take like 1 or 2 minutes to give you a brief about our journey, what Rukidec is all about, because I don't think a lot of people know our personal journeys, how we have started this sports e-commerce platform and where we are heading to. And then probably, you can probably take the center stage and you can know a little bit about yourself, right? Uh, Shraddha, and to all the viewers who have tuned in, Rukidec started like year back with a very sole intent to assist our users in terms of what kind of products are
Absolutely.
suitable for them. This was like a personal pain point for me, and me and my partner Shruti, we both could empathize that there are a lot of people who are basically confused about what to buy and where to buy it from. We just thought, can we
Right.
create a platform in which we can who can basically assist them in terms of okay, if I'm a beginner, if I'm a rookie, and that is what the name essentially says, right? We are a platform for rookies. How can we handhold their journey, and how can we be their one-stop platform in which if they want to buy anything from the trusted source, can we be that virtual expert or not? And that's
Right.
why I think uh, and that's where you guys come in, and you play a very important part, integral part of what we are willing to offer, because you guys have the expertise, you guys have been there, done that, and when it comes from someone like you, I think it just builds more credibility to it, right? And that's the whole agenda of this. Uh, that has been our journey, and obviously I would love to share more about us, but I think what we are here for is to know a little bit about you. So, Shraddha, take us through, your journey, what you have been up to, and
Uh,
how did you choose this career in the first place? Yeah, all yours.
uh, I mean, actually, I mean, I've been doing yoga now for about 5 years approximately, and I was fully into like a marketing role. I mean, till very recently, actually, I was a marketing consultant for fashion brands. I
Oh,
studied from NIFT Delhi, so that's the kind of background that I have done. However, like I don't know what started with yoga as like something that I just want to do those cool cool poses like headstands, all the inversions, and all the back bends. It was all about doing all those cool poses and getting those amazing photos that a lot of people post. Became into a lifestyle, right? Eventually, I
Yeah.
didn't plan it. It just happened that I started loving it, and then I obviously saw the improvement that it does to my body, to my mind, to the health overall. It was hard to let go of it then, and then I started to do it regularly as a practice. I had a great teacher, thankfully, and I, started doing it as a practice. And then I thought I should like deepen my study, so I went to Mysore school, to India Yoga, and I studied yoga over there. And then ever since, I've been teaching, and even teaching has been a great journey. It's a learning experience. I learn from my students. I guess I hope they learn from me. So yeah, it's just been amazing, and I feel like yoga is something that everyone sort of falls to eventually sometime in their life. Like, I'm not saying everybody, but a large percentage of people, because it has such healing effects on the body that it focuses on joint flexibility. It focuses on all the internal organs and how you can keep your heart healthy, your lungs healthy. So I feel like it's something that um, it's a healing form of exercise, which I think everyone eventually, has at some point have had some like health issues or something, which happens. So I feel like everybody falls to yoga eventually, whenever they feel like it's the right time, and whenever they start believing in it. uh, yeah, that's what happens. So yeah, I guess that's what
Right.
happened with me too. And like, I think everyone should definitely try it one point in their in their life, for sure.
Yeah, but of course, we can go on and on about benefits of well-being in yoga, and of course, but I think I want to take a step back over here, and Shraddha, I just want to understand at what age, or like how did it all start? Like you mentioned, you were a professional, working for a fashion industry. I think, was yoga a part of your daily routine right from your childhood, or this was something you built it on as a lifestyle change when you
No,
grew up?
actually, yes. I mean, I actually started only being into any form of sport, which is even I was running marathon for about 4 to 5 years as well. Before I started doing yoga, I started only at the age of 21. I mean,
Oh,
I'm 33 now, but at the age of 21 is when I started believing in any form of exercise. So I started doing marathons, and then after that, got into yoga. I had no background since childhood. It's not like my parents were really into it, so that's why they got into it. Nothing. It just happened. I just felt the need, and that's how it happened to me at the age of 21. If that's what you're asking, yes.
right. And if I may ask, I think you were already into fitness. Why yoga? Like, why pursue it as a career? Like, for all the young, soon to be entrepreneurs, or someone who has an interest in sports and fitness. I think a lot of people will be intrigued by the fact that obviously everyone keeps talking about how mental well-being and fitness has taken over the country. Our honorable prime minister have launched a lot of initiatives in terms of
Right.
Fit India movement, and then even in sports. Why why someone who is a active yoga practitioner, why should they start thinking about this seriously? Why should someone pursue it as a career? Any advice on that?
Oh, you mean as a teaching thing? So I agree. Like, practicing yoga yourself and teaching are completely different things. Are completely
Okay.
different things. Honestly, to be very honest, when I went to do my yoga course, I never thought that I'll teach. I went for my teacher training course, but I just went because I wanted to deepen my knowledge personally about how yoga helps, the yoga philosophy, the anatomy of the body, everything. So but then, I mean, I don't know. Then I started teaching one person, and the idea of imparting that knowledge, and how that person feels better after doing yoga from you, it gives you a high. It gives you like this happiness that I am able to, maybe, like, I've had students who've had back issues, and I've fixed it in like few months. And they started feeling better. They say they don't have any back problems or backaches anymore. So it kind of it's just become an addiction now to teach. I love it. I love teaching. I think it's a very like uh, happy job. So I feel everyone like who has them has it in them to teach and has it in them to sort of impart knowledge, they should definitely do it because the world needs good teachers, especially. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and also not just teachers, even someone who basically like I for one, I am into fitness. Obviously, I keep on working out, but I think
Okay.
yoga is something which I just keep it just for Sunday, Sunday morning routines. And
Okay.
I sometimes I wonder, and of course, I keep on hearing all of you guys talking about the benefits of yoga, and I wish I could do that more. Somewhere I'm on the fence. I just don't know whether someone like me who has been in the fitness, if I should probably think about this more seriously about even in terms of practicing, not just teaching. Uh,
Yes, absolutely.
what,
What is it
what
that stops you from doing it? Just asking.
exactly? I think that's the question. That's the answer which I try to seek from this question is that. Uh, because a lot of people are basically just doing yoga like once in a while, right? We all know about the benefits of yoga. What does yoga do to your body and your mind? Like, if you can just elaborate, so that rookies like me or someone who's a beginner, who understands.
So it's something that not everyone understands. I get it. Like I understand. For some people, yoga is maybe not as much cardio as people say. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
as running would be, or as I don't know, playing a sport maybe would be. I get it. I understand that. But it's the only form of exercise practice I feel which connects the body mind and soul. And I'm not, I know it's a very cliche thing to say, maybe a lot of people say it, but it's actually it takes time. It takes time. You if you're a if and most of the people who get into yoga are consciously seeking out to an answer, I would say, seeking out to something, like they have questions in their mind. They are like, so they're an unconscious seeker of spirituality, I would say. If
Yeah.
you're an
If-
unconscious seeker of spirituality, yoga is something that will connect you to spirituality. You won't even realize when you become more connected spiritually, but it just happens. So it takes a little bit of time to get used to it. Also, it's one of the exercises which sort of connects flexibility and strength both. And I think flexibility is a very um, well, it's very very important. Like I feel like flexibility is strength in its own way. So it's not just about doing the weight training and getting stronger in strength, but it's about doing the strength and the flexibility, combining the two, I would say.
Actually, it's a very interesting point because, like I said, I think there are a lot of people who basically resort to gyms and, traditional workout activities in order to obviously build muscle and build strength. And I see people like endorsing yoga for building strength and flexibility. Uh,
Yeah.
Obviously, there are, practices in which you can build more muscle. Do you think do you think someone who just practices yoga, they will be able to successfully build muscle or probably get more stronger just by practicing yoga? Is that possible?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, look at all the arm balances poses that all the yogis can do. I don't think a lot of people who do gym and pick up a lot of weights can pick up their own body
Yeah.
like the way yoga practitioners do. So I'm not saying, I'm not dismissing it at all. Like I'm not dismissing the gym practice. I'm not dismissing running. I'm not dismissing all the sports that people play. I think it's nice. I mean, if you have the time, divide your days between doing some days of gymming, some days of sports, some days of yoga. That's fantastic. I mean, that would be ideal, but it's hard to take out so much time for people. So, to answer your question, yes, strength definitely, it builds a lot of strength. That's why you can do all those handstand inversions, one arm balances and stuff with yoga focuses on.
Of course.
Yeah. So
Uh, Shraddha, you mentioned something about your teacher and someone who has inspired you to pursue this as a career. Uh,
yes.
you know, who inspires you the most? To keep on going and to because the path which you have chosen is slightly unconventional. I'm sure
Yeah.
you have been in that particular domain. You were a professional, a marketing professional, perhaps. Like in fact. what made you choose this unconventional way of, living your life? Is this just pure happiness, or someone who has inspired you? Talk to us a little bit more on that.
Uh, yes, of course. I mean, there is a friend of a very close friend of mine, and who was my teacher. Um, so her name is Surbi. She's the one who kind of inspired me to get into yoga. And again, she did it very unconsciously. She used to just come and teach, and I just looked at her and I saw the kind of movement her body can do, how healthy she is. That's what. So I wanted to. She was my inspiration. Of course, my mother and my husband. I mean, my parents and my husband. They really, really, really support me into. It's important, right? Because you're going into, like you said, it's a very unconventional job. It's not something which uh, like corporate jobs gives you this much monthly income. So it's kind of safe to be in that environment. And it was hard for me to leave that as well, because I worked with like Reliance for like so many years and stuff. So it's hard to sort of leave that monthly income that you get and come into this unconventional job. So you need inspirations, like you said. You're right. You need like the support factor who always keeps telling you that you're doing the right thing. So yeah, I guess it was my friend who I mentioned, my parents and my husband. So for that, for sure.
Right. And if I may ask, like, what is the plan here on? Like, I think you do want to inspire, your students to pursue this. You want to build a community.
Yes.
I'm assuming there's a lot on your mind. If you could just share a little bit more on that note.
Plan for the future. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I want to study yoga in a deeper way, maybe. I would like to go to different schools and learn. Every school has a different school of thought. So I would like to
Yeah.
go to different schools and learn different what their point of view is about yoga. Get deeper into yoga philosophy, about the history of yoga, the anatomy, um, chanting, even chanting. Every learn Sanskrit. Sanskrit is such a crucial part of for yoga. So there's so much to learn. It's never ending. I think I keep making these yearly plans that these are the two, three things I'm going to uh, learn in this year and then move forward, because doing too many things also confuses you. So I kind of divide it um, between like each quarter, how many things to do, and then yeah, and then go for it. Exactly.
Wow. Wow. Um,
I don't
Shraddha, I
know.
think it makes me so happy that whenever I speak to people like you, because very often you see people, and again, entrepreneurship for me gives me that high. You mentioned yoga gives you that high, right? I think for few people, just doing what they love. In your case, you're doing yoga. You're inspiring your students to pursue that as a career. I think it's a noble profession, and in fact, it's a national service, I would say, because again, not only you are, you're doing your job, but also you're empowering future entrepreneurs or future yoga practitioners, so that they can pass on whatever knowledge they have gotten from you, so to their students, and hopefully their students pass on to their students. I think, it makes me very, very happy when I speak to people like you. So,
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for opening, sharing your story. I think the way we want to structure this is, of course, the major agenda, why we wanted to speak to you on this forum is obviously, like I said, our users, is someone who's a beginner, right? And obviously, very often they find very value-added content on the internet. They just hop on from one platform to platform, and it's a personal ambition, and obviously, I don't know how long it will take for me to do that, but if I can just give them, an ability, to go at one single platform, hopefully us, and then get whatever their queries are.
All the answers.
I would we are working towards that vision. So there are a couple of few queries, and if you allow me, I would love to ask you one by one, because these are very trivial questions which
Yeah.
they usually don't find answers on the internet. And when someone like you obviously addresses those queries, it just builds more credibility, because obviously you have been there, done that, right? So just diving straight into the questions, a lot of people basically ask for a sport, or probably for a fitness activity like yoga, why is it important to pick the right gear? Is it really important? Not important? Like, how do we go about, picking the right kind of mat, or probably picking the, then you have yoga blocks and yoga wheels. Why is it important to have the right gear whenever you're working out?
Yeah, it's very, very, very important. And thanks to people like you who are actually starting to do this and impart knowledge on this. Honestly, because when I started, it was, I think I used the wrong mat for the longest time. It can really, damage your knees. You can have a really bad fall if your mat is slippery. I've had that, and it's really, really, really bad. You have to protect the joints. You have to protect your wrists. You have to protect your elbows, and that can happen only if you have like a good thickness in the mat, or good protection in the mat, or at least an anti-slip mat. So these kind of things, you're right. Like, people don't know this initially, especially when you're a beginner. You are kind of, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Like, they're kind of looking at something which is maybe cheaper, because they don't know if they're going to get into that activity permanently, or in a religious manner. But even in that maybe lower price category, there could be some slightly better mats, or it could be anything, yoga blocks or anything, which are available. So if they correctly know what, maybe like just few key pointers, that these are the points to keep in mind, and these are the answers to those mats or yoga blocks, or I don't know, could be yoga pants, then at least they would keep those in mind, maybe to making the purchase. Yeah.
Right. If you could just quickly summarize into two or three factors, basis which people should take decisions. You mentioned thickness, I think. You also mentioned a term which is anti-slip. Are there any major three, four factors, which people should consider?
Yeah, these two would be, I would say, the main factors for sure. Definitely the thickness and the anti-slip thing. Also, it could be, I mean, for some people who are trying to get into slightly more like religious form of yoga, it'll be nice to have the alignment lines on the mat, I would say, just to get
Yeah.
the alignment right. If you're like about few months old in your yoga practice, it's nice to know where you have to keep your feet when you're doing poses like Trikonasana or Parshvakonasana, any of those poses. If you know where you have to keep your feet and everything, it's much better for your alignment to come out correct, because that's what it is, right? If your alignment is wrong, your joints will all get damaged. So I think that would be another main factor to keep in mind, I would say. Yeah.
Right. Shraddha, if you could just quickly elaborate on, when you just mentioned anti-slip. First of
Yeah.
all, what is anti-slip? Because, we have a lot of users who come onto a platform and then they ask, because we have a few products which are anti-slip, and, I think there are some new technologies as well. What is
Right.
this anti-slip, and how does it affect your posture or the way you're doing yoga?
Okay. So, I mean, when you're doing yoga, especially when you're doing the Ashtanga practice, let's say, which has jump forwards and jump backs, getting inverted into another pose, jumping and getting inverted. I've had times when my wrists have slipped while I'm in an inversion. I've had times when I've jumped forward and my hand is twisted. So luckily nothing happened to my wrist, but that's what I mean by an anti-slip mat. That even if you go into, let's say, a downward dog, it should be firm. Your wrists don't have to move. There are lots of mats, even when you're in a downward dog, because your hands get sweaty, it starts moving. So it should be like an anti-sweat, like even if you're sweating, your hands or feet should not slip, because of course you will sweat, you're exercising. So that part has to be taken, that much absorption the mat should have, I would say.
Right, right. And you also mentioned about thickness, right, which is a very important factor
Yeah.
when it comes to buying
Yes.
yoga mat. If you can just give us a correlation of whether for a beginner it should be a thicker mat, thinner mat, any sort of material which they should be going for, and any
I
cues in that.
I think ideally, initially, people like to go for a thicker mat, because you're not used to going, standing on your knees that much, doing a back bend, standing on the knees like camel pose or something. It can get very, your knees can feel a lot of pressure, or your wrists can feel a lot of pressure. So I would say initially it's better to get a thicker mat, like a 8 mm mat, as opposed to like a 5 mm or something, it'll be better to do that rather than getting like a thinner mat later. I mean, thinner mat initially. You can move to like a thinner mat, but still an anti-slip mat eventually later. Yeah. So start from a thicker and then come into like a slightly thinner mat, I would say, because then your joints are still ready. They're prepared for that much pressure. Yeah.
Right. And and so we while hosting our catalogs, we have a lot of other accessories as well. I think I'm, products like yoga blocks and yoga wheels,
Yes.
and on a very personal level, even I was very intrigued. Like, first of all, where are these used? Like, are there any specific poses in which you use these products? Why do people use those products, and like, what is the significance of them?
Yoga blocks is kind of like an extension to your arm. So, for example,
Okay.
if you cannot reach, if you cannot do a forward fold because you have tight hamstrings, which people do, you're sitting all the time, you get tight hamstrings, and you want to do a forward fold. Um, you can place that block and place your hand on the block. So it's kind of like an extension to your arm without rounding the spine, because yoga is all about correcting your posture. So if you keep the spine up, like the chest expanded, and then keeping the arm down, then at least the spine is completely correct, your posture is completely right, and then you're going to a forward fold. So it's kind of like a support system for your own body. It's really, really
Right.
helpful, and you get it in different materials. I'm sure you have them like in wood or foam or mainly these two, cork also, I think. But
Yeah.
like, yeah, but I think foam is something which I've used, which I feel is better because it's light and it's easy to carry around if you're going somewhere to do your practice. But it's not something that people just use as a fancy prop. It's actually very, very, very helpful. It's very, very, very helpful. It can help you in your back bends, it can help you in your forward folds, it can help you to make your spine completely straight. It's a great prop to have. Absolutely, it is. Yeah, like I said, it's an extension to your own body. It helps you in mobility, it helps you in the movement of the body.
All right. And I think, so the other products like yoga wheels and stuff, if you can just quickly give us a gist about what do they do? Like,
Yoga wheels
uh,
is also something which kind of will help you get into all those fancy poses that you want to get into. Seriously,
oh,
because
like I'm assuming that the Chakrasan one, I think that might,
exactly,
all
or
right.
maybe even like even more like a chin stand. Like a chin stand is very difficult, so yoga wheel would probably help you get into that back bend, because poses like that can be very hard on the body initially, because even when you're doing like a chin stand, it's hard for your cervical to take it. Like it can lead into a cervical blowout if you don't do it correctly. So a yoga wheel kind of helps you. It's like a support system. It helps you get flexible. If you use it the right way, it'll help you achieve all those poses, all the back bends and all the fancy inversions that everyone wants to do. Yeah.
All right, all right. I think this has been a very value-adding session personally for me because obviously even though I'm the one who's basically selling, keeping all those products for users to buy. Sessions like this also makes me more aware of what do the products do and what are they useful for, right? I think we are almost uh, towards our end of this session. I think we have a couple of more questions from our users, who have basically mailed us or messaged
Yeah,
us. So, if you allow me, I think there are
absolutely.
some very generic questions like, what are the some important things to remember when you're starting out for yoga? I think it's a very generic question, but very, very small answer from your end, if you can address
What are
them.
the important things to take care of? I mean, I'm not exactly getting that question correctly, but I mean, just go for it. I would say just start it. Don't think so much. Just start it and see where it goes. I would say, like, really, just like, I mean, is he asking in terms of products? Do you think?
Right. So I think what the user is intending to ask over here is, a lot of people firstly have their uh, questions and apprehensions in their mind. Some might have severe back problems. So someone who's just starting out, right? Uh, and just which yoga forms should they first try out? Like, is it like simple Padmasan or any sort of simple asanas? So, any recommendation over there?
Yeah, honestly, firstly, I would say get like a good teacher and someone who can actually guide you into taking it a bit slow. Like, if your body is not ready, it can get if your body can go into a shock, right, suddenly. So it's important. There are lots of, YouTube videos on beginner sessions as well if this person wants to try it. If that person's apprehension is about how to start, where to start. Start it in a slow form. There's a long way to go. It's a long journey. Start with like a beginner series. Maybe you can find many videos on beginner, and I'm happy to share it with you so that you can share it with this,
Yeah.
your user. So some videos on beginner classes, or get a good teacher who will make you start in like a good way according to what your body allows. And get all
We
the
appreciate
products
that.
from Rookie Deck. And get,
Of course. Link is in the description.
yeah. Yeah.
No, but I think most of the questions you've already covered. I think there's one question about supplements and nutrition. What are the common misconceptions? And again, you have been an athlete as well. Who were running marathon. How important is nutrition, even from a female standpoint? Some people are very scared about whey proteins. So, any take on that? Any advice for rookies like us?
I don't. I mean, if you're asking me, I honestly don't. I feel like it's better if you take it in the natural form, of course, according to me. That's me though. But and obviously nutrition is important because yoga is not going to help you if your other lifestyle is not as healthy
Yeah.
as it is. Like yoga will only help you this much, but you have to your diet, your sleep, everything has to align. But yeah, supplements. I think I wouldn't say much about it because I don't believe in supplements as much. Diet, of course, you have to keep it healthy. You have to eat on time. There has to be a system in the body for like the timely eating, timely sleeping. Everything has to be systemized, I would say. Just eat everything.
All
Eat
right.
everything. That's all.
All right. Cool. Thank you so much, Shraddha. I think I don't have any questions from mine. I hope that we catch up real soon. Probably
Yes,
I
yes,
get an
I'll love
opportunity to
that.
interact with you more.
Thank you so much for
I,
inviting me. This is great. Thank you.
Yeah, and to all the viewers, who've tuned in, who've listened to this very patiently. Of course, we will be putting out on our YouTube channel as well. For all our future users, who want to know more about yoga, and of course, we are planning to create like a mini series or a podcast, where we can have experts like you come and share their advice and expertise. I
Yes,
think it will help a lot of people who are out there, who are seeking answers, because I think the
absolutely.
world हमारे इसमें बहुत like when I pitch to our customers, I think the intent is बेचो कम सिखाओ ज़्यादा. I think that is
Yeah,
what we
yeah.
want to do.
Oh, that's
You know,
that's wonderful. Seriously,
yeah, everyone is just trying to sell stuff. For once, we want to just educate our
empower the
users,
audience.
so empower them, so that they take the right decision. We hope
Nice.
we hope that we become successful in this mission. But
You will.
thank you so much for for
All the
being a part
best
of
to you.
this. Every
Thank
single
you. Thank you. All the
yeah,
best to
yeah.
you. You're gonna look great.
Thank you so much, and for all of you, who've tuned in. If you have any questions for Shraddha, feel free to reach out to her on our Instagram handle. I think we'll be sharing her Instagram handle along with this video. And of course, if you want to know more about us, feel free to drop an email at roketic.com. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Shraddha.
Great.
Once
Thank
again,
you.
stay blessed,
Thank
stay healthy, and I hope to catch
you too.
up with
You.
you real soon. All right.
Yes,
Bye
for
bye.
sure. Bye. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.